In fact, YouTube is hard. That is why you see those people who do well on Facebook, they tend not to come on YouTube. Have you ever noticed? Because YouTube is very hard. YouTube, you can't come out and dance like this and do amapiano like this and you expect to get 1 million views. Never. The money that I used to buy the phone was given to me by Prophet Otamagaya. People don't know. Impossible is the word found in the dictionary of fools. You see? Noifamba senzira ineminzwa inobaya fugama unamate.
Compliments of the new season to Wisdom and Purpose family. Today I'm super excited because it's our first episode this year, and today I'm hosting one of the top content creators, that is of course Kelvin Birioti. In case you don't know, my name is Ishani Sumchena, but you can simply call me ImeTheFinest, the sensational doctor 103 yellow. I'm super excited, man. So before we talk to Kelvin, let's take a quick short break, then we'll be right back after this. Welcome back, and today we are talking to one of the top content creators, that is of course Kelvin Birioti. Kelvin, thank you so much for joining us, and it's my pleasure, man.
Thank you for having me, I would say, and I'm happy to be here.
The pleasure is ours, man. Yeah. So usually I always start with this question. Yeah. What is your earliest childhood memory that you think has defined the person you have become now?
For me, honestly, there was a certain time that as a young person you are asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I was that one person who would say nothing at all because I did not know. You see? And as I grow, I get to understand what it meant by that time. As now I'm a content creator full time and I'm always everywhere. So for me, I'm the one who understands that, because like I would think about that more often. What do you want to be when you grow up? Others would say a doctor, others would say a teacher, policeman. Me, I was just blank, bro. Maybe it's because maybe I was coming from that background where you would actually tell that others are doing well and us, we are not doing well. So you feel like you feel inferior, you see? You feel like you are just living, you don't have a purpose. And back then, when parents are busy working, trying to make ends meet, they barely have time to actually sit down with you and say, or even ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up?
All right, let me cut you there. Yeah. You mentioned something about your background.
Yeah.
What was it like?
It was fair. The reason why I'm saying it was fair is because my background built me. My background was poor, I would say. We were poor, but we could afford food, but we were poor. For example, I grew up in a house where there were no windows. There were iron sheet windows, you see? So that was my background. I started living in a house where there are proper windows when I started staying alone. So it was difficult, just like most of the people, but mine was
something else.
Yeah, something else. And I'm not really saying this as a way to say, I come from a poor background, because that poor background did build me to be the person that I am today, you see? So I'm grateful for what I went through in my life.
All right. What's something from your childhood that nobody knows, even those who are close to you?
What? Come again, bro. Come again.
What's something from your childhood that nobody knows, even those who are close to you? From my childhood.
Nah. Me, I talk too much, so I'm probably telling anyone what I went through when I was a kid, because I'm telling you, there is nothing. The reason why I'm saying that is that I talk too much, bro.
Well, which means you pour everything that you do.
Yeah, like everything that I went through as a kid. Yeah.
All right. let's talk something which is important.
Yeah.
Your primary school journey.
Yeah.
I saw one of your interviews, and you mentioned that you was considered down. Talk to me about that experience.
Exactly. Like, honestly, let's be honest with each other. A teacher knows, like, this kid has no future, but they don't tell you. You see, there are certain kids who sit in group 5, group 6, group 7. The teacher barely pays attention to those kids, and I was one of those people. You see, you know that you as a kid in grade 6 or grade 7, you know that the teacher is paying attention to certain students. You see, so you start to recognize, so that means I'm not really that good at school because I'm sitting in group 6 and group 7. You see, so my results were bad in primary school. I barely knew anything, brother, and I barely recognized my grade 7 results. I barely remember them. I was in 27, 28, 29. I barely. I started to pick up when I was in high school, secondary. That's when things started making sense. Like, I need to wake up and smell the coffee. And I did. I started to be serious about school, but I could not catch up in other subjects like maths. I am bad at maths even up to now. Yeah.
All right, so let me cut you there.
Yeah.
From my experience, as of me in primary school, I was considered down too. Though I've noticed that I wasn't down, but
Yes.
I was dyslexic.
Uh-huh.
So
what does that mean?
People who find it hard to understand the written words, people who find it to understand or to, because as of me, I don't remember kutonso ku primary anombowana teacher anyatsondudza donzo uyu anonzi IAEOI anombotsanangurwa ndozvo this is what it means kana kudoshandisa unoshandisa so kutongonzonzo IAEOU chitoti chivakasendera I don't know because I end up ndichirufungo donzo so spelling why yazonzonzo yanzi c ndechakati c ndechakati.
You see, I think that's the biggest problem. Like, teachers sometimes treat students, all of them, like the same. Like, if there are those who are not catching up, you're going to be left behind. I felt like that.
But in deep down, my mind's got also normal way, or mind's got also I don't belong here, or there's something wrong about me.
I did not believe that there's something wrong with me. I just believed that I was different and I need attention. Like, maybe I'm slow when it comes to learning things, but as time moved on, the biggest regret that I used to have back then is not believing in myself. I would not speak out when I do not understand things. I started to speak out when I was in A level. When I started speaking out and believing in myself, I am telling you, in A level, I did produce the best results of my life. I came out with 11 points. An A. I thought I would never produce an A in my life, but I did in history.
We'll talk about that experience. It is very interesting. So which primary school did you go to?
Child's primary school. I loved my primary school, but it's just that I used to walk like long distance to go there. And that would drain me like a lot. That would drain me and destroy me somehow. And probably that is one of the reasons. Going to school, for long distance and you get there and you're tired. I mean, come on. It destroys you somehow. Sure. And not all of us are strong. There are certain people who are strong to understand that they would walk long distance and they do well in school.
Exactly.
But some of us
will be tired.
Yeah, will be tired. And I could see the difference between where I come from and the people that I'm playing with. The kind of food. I was one of those people who would carry sadza to school for breakfast. You see? Not sadza and meat. Sadza and Weezer. What do you call Weezers in Chirungu? In English? Exactly. Rain season was my favorite time for me. Because I would eat my sadza, in those long grasses. No one would see me.
All right.
Yeah. So it was tough. My primary school was tough.
All right, let's move. Let's go to your high school journey. How was it?
High school journey, as a person who was now growing up and trying to make sense of everything that was happening at the time, I think high school was the best for me because although now it was not like long distance. There was a certain transport. There was a transport that was transporting us from home to school. So it was the best. It was now me trying to catch up. Why is it that I am slow? What am I missing? So doing that analysis, it helped me, and I started to be confident when I was in Form 2. I would even, you know, bother my teachers like a lot. Not the math teacher, because I was really bad, but English and other subjects. I was trying by all means to catch up. And I did a little bit. Like in Form 1 to Form 4, I did. Like it was a phase where I was trying to catch up. And it was a time that I was so happy as a teenager because like I had friends. Like I would used to laugh a lot. Even up to now, I tell people like I've never laughed the way that I used to do in high school. But I did in terms of school. I did for me. I would say I did the best in my Form 4 results. For me were the best for me because I came out with 4 subjects, and others say you failed. But for me, I was like, wow, the effort that I did put in this. Although I'm a little bit behind, but the effort. 4 subjects was good. Others say 3 subjects because there was a practical, so it was 3. Others say, yeah, I had to write another subject like the 5th one, geography, and I did pass geography. And I never told a lot of people. I wrote maths like 4, 5 times, if I'm not mistaken, and I failed all the time. Yeah, and then I went to A level. Oh man, O level. Yeah, cause like it was me now telling myself like, bro, if you listen to people, you're living their lives. You're not living your own life. Start living your own life. Make your own decisions. Where you did not understand anything, ask. Those who laugh, let them laugh. But you, at least you have. And that was like the same stage where I told myself, if I want something, I'm going to go for it. And I'm not going to take a no for an answer. Even my wife, when she watches this video, she's going to say, this man. Even when it comes to ladies, we say no. Nah, I'm not gonna take a no for an answer, even if it takes 2 to 3 years. I even told my wife, like, if you had said no, you were going to see the other side of me. Like, I'll try. I'll put effort. I would even study. Like, that's what I did in A level. In A level, I did gain confidence, and I did put more effort in school, and I started to understand now. I did catch up. And it is only math that I did not catch up, but other subjects I was there. When I was in university, I was there. And people, I think even my primary teachers, if they were to watch my videos now, they'll say, nah, God did play a major role in this kid's life. Because I was one of those people who was. Let's be honest with each other. There are certain people when you look at them, you say, "Hey, God have mercy." Are these people like would say, nah, God, they are not going to make it? I was one of those people. Even where I grew up, where we used to stay, people would look at you. You would know yourself that the way these people portray me, the way they look at me, they think that nothing good will come out of me. You know. And it's really bad. Do you know how important it is for one to change environment? When you change environment when no one tells you or knows your background and say, I'm starting afresh, that is really important. You've learned from your mistakes. There are certain circumstances where you grew up in this area and you can't do certain things or say something and people just know the answer already. Like nothing good comes out of it. I changed that, bro. And from there till now.
All right, let me cut you. How did you manage to change that?
God. Oh my God. I'm still am. I listen to Prophet TB Joshua like a lot. And those sermons changed the spiritual life, my spiritual life. I still listen to them even up to now. And I even say to myself more often, like, without these sermons, you were going to be a different breed. Because where I grew up, if I'm to look at the people that I grew up around, even those who were deemed bright back then, I say, hey, God is a good God. God did have mercy upon my life. I still remember one time I was going to school in primary school. Now those memories are now coming back. You said there are certain things that you've never told anyone.
Yeah, break them.
I don't think I've never told anyone how I met God. Like, it's not normal for a human being to just start talking to yourself and then just start crying without being offended. See, that was me in grade 5, grade 6, I can't remember. I used to walk like 8 kilometers to school. And I still remember one time I was starting school, Muscat, in the afternoon. And I was on my way to school. And I started singing this song because it was a song that my parents, my mom used to sing like a lot. And Ndoifamba Senzira.
We will sing that song after this
So
song.
I started singing that song alone, just walking, and I started crying. Fugama Unamati. The aspect of Fugama Unamati. For me, it started playing in my head like a lot. And who is this person that we're supposed to pray to? And that aspect started to play much, much more in my head. And I started telling myself, there is a God. There is higher power that can make me cry like this. It was not something that I understood at the time. And then, my teachers, my grade 5 teacher used to read like Bible stories. I would love those times, That was the time that I started to know much about God, you see. And then now, even up to now, I still go back and think that time when I was singing, that was an important turnaround in my life to knowing God, you see. It's amazing.
That's the story you never told anyone.
Yeah. And another story that I never, just this one.
Exactly.
As a teenager, you go through a lot. You think of even running away. There was a certain time that I even say, you blame God. I blamed God. I was standing there. I was angry. I was even saying some things. But I broke down. You feel that there is a higher power and you should not say the things that you are saying. And I learned that day that never a day come in my life that I blame God in everything that happens in my life. Because we are human beings. We tend to not blame ourselves. We tend to find something to blame. And that day, it dawned on me that who do you think you are to blame God? From that day, God talks to people through the heart. That is our communication point. There are certain things people say that, God doesn't talk to me and that kind of stuff. Nah. In every situation, God has something to say. And I've been learning since then, bro.
I've learned something also. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about your football journey. You wanted to be a soccer star. When did you discover that at first?
I was told that, when I was young, when I started to understand things, they used to tell me, when you were sleeping when you were young, you used to sleep with a ball. There's even certain pictures of me sleeping with a ball, eating suds and okra with a ball. So I just grew up just loving football. I used to play it like crazy, bro. And my football journey still pains me like a lot. And even no matter how hard I try to convince myself, like you should try to pursue it even up to now, the reality strikes, like football doesn't pay you more than what you are doing right now. So I'm always going to be doing content creation. But football, I loved it and I played it. And I even went to Yada trials. I went there, I tried, I failed. When I went to university, that is when I gave up. And I said, you know what, this is not you, and you are not even good. When it comes to football freestyle, doing skills with the ball, I'm really good, bro. Like, I'm really good.
So why did you give up?
Life, circumstances. You are at school, and even at school, you're struggling to fit in the first team at school. And you start asking yourself these questions. Am I good enough? You see that aspect where we spoke about you not having confidence and that kind of stuff. That was me. I know myself inside me that I'm good at this, but I'm just not confident. How best can I overcome this aspect? I think I never overcame that aspect, and I just stopped. When I stopped, I wanted to find another thing that I can be chasing, a dream. I wanted a dream because the football aspect died. Because the more you grow, the more your ambitions die, some of them. As a football player especially. I was just sitting there empty. And then YouTube came around. When I started YouTube, I started as someone who is making football videos, doing skills and that kind of stuff. And from then, one thing led to another. And I'll never stop. I'll never stop.
All right, let's see, move on. In after high school, after your A levels,
Yeah.
you did very well. You enrolled in social work. Why social work? Is it pressure or my choose?
Pressure. I did not know what I wanted to do. When I was there, when they were putting these papers, it's just they.
3 programs.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, social work. I had to research there, like, what is social work? I did not know. I just chose randomly.
Or you are the one who chose it?
Yeah, I was the one, but have you ever chosen something that you don't understand? That's crazy. That's the crazy part that a lot of students at university don't understand. Don't do a degree that when you finish, you start struggling finding a job. You see, that's what happened. But before I went to university, I did spend a year at home, working, looking for money to go to university. I used to clean toilets. I was once a casual worker at Chinoi Caves in Chinoi. Yeah. Others are enjoying, I'm the one who's doing your meat like this so that you can give me like $3 to $4. And we are the ones who used to clean Chinoi Caves and the toilets there for 1 year.
All right, let's say with the information you have now, if you had to go back to your A level, would you enroll back to social work or you find something else?
I think I would find something that is more practical. When I say more practical, I mean, a skill, practical, like learning something to do with making like bottled water, making a car, something like that. I would choose a program like that, not social work. Social work in Zimbabwe. Have you ever seen that the percentage of people who come out in Zimbabwe or in Africa in general saying I'm depressed, the number is very low. Unlike in America and that kind of stuff, where a social worker is so much recognized. But here, people just kill themselves, men just go through a lot and no one to talk to. So there are certain programs that people are doing right now and they are not even applicable. People have been studying development. What do you mean by, if you ever had development studies? I mean, it's self-explanatory. Development studies. But yet, there are sayings that in 40 years, in every 40 years, a nation must change. Let's look at Africa in general. How many nations have changed for better in the last 40 years? Not a lot of them. Less.
Change in terms of what?
In terms of infrastructure, in terms of how,
all right.
in terms of things, in terms of things being better.
All right. I get you there.
Not us adapting other things from Western countries. Us. Because we're talking about development studies, which means when you study something, if I'm not mistaken, development studies is self-explanatory, right? We're talking about development in general. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me. There are certain programs that when one starts and being practical, we expect you to go in your nation and ignite something. But for the last 40 years, we haven't seen any change. Not associating politics or individually, those who have started these programs, they have not went to the world and started something from scratch. Those who are not educated are the people that are starting something from scratch and employing those who went to do social work and development studies. Why? Are you not the one who is educated, who is supposed to start something? Because you are learned. And employers. I chose social work.
All right, let's talk about those practical degrees for the benefit of an A level or the one who is confused. What should I start? What should I do with my life? What are those practical degrees?
I would want to learn. I would want to know those programs even myself because I barely know. I only know social work. The reason why I'm saying this, there are certain programs. I'll give you a good example because I don't want to say the wrong things here. I don't want to say, for example, I mentioned development studies. I did use it as an example, but I barely know anything about it. But I just know, like as a human being, that there is something that is missing. You see? Do you know that someone who did motor mechanics? Yeah, that is one of those things. You see? Motor mechanics. If you did motor mechanics and you start thinking outside the box, should be a solution here. I'll give you a good example. We have people who are doing motor mechanics today. And yet in Zimbabwe, we have people who are saying there is no proper VW mechanics in Zimbabwe. That is a huge market gap there. And you know cars like the back of your hand. What if you can just focus on that niche specifically? That is one of those problems. So I would not want to mention programs that would mislead people, but I'm just saying in general that somewhere we're doing it wrong. You see?
All right, so you grew up in Chinoy.
Yeah.
And how was the experience of coming from Chinoy to the big city, Harare?
When I came to Harare, I started appreciating where I come from. I grew up around nature. That is the best feeling, I'm telling you. Well, yes, you lack certain things, but growing up around nature, that is the best thing. That is the best thing you can do for yourself. And here in Harare, everything is happening so fast. And if you are slow, you can't catch up. But I did catch up, though. I did catch up.
All right, so talk to me about the experience, your first day or your first time in Harare. Because some they have different experience, some Chadona, some Bakasangani different experiences.
I can't really remember my first time because when I was going to Bindura, I passed through Harare. I think that was my first time, like to really be in Harare. My first time being in Harare was closer to Harare, like outskirts of Harare, but not like inside Harare. When I was inside Harare for the first time, I was passing through Harare going to Bindura, going to university. And I was like, wow, I would want to live here in Harare. Because for me, I used to think that Harare is the land of opportunity, and I was right. Comparing Harare with other small towns and other cities, it's not fair. Harare is the land of opportunities.
It's the capital.
It's the capital. And the opportunities, sadly, are discovered by those who grew up outside, not those who grew up in Harare. You see?
All right, so you attended Bindura, as you mentioned.
Yeah, Zego University.
Or is Zego?
Yeah.
I thought it's
Zayoja.
Buse. Oh,
No, it's not Buse. It's
all right.
Zayoja.
All
Zego
right.
University.
All right, Zego is very expensive, man.
That's the thing. I think I made the wrong choice in choosing a university. I chose it, but then my parents could not afford it. That is why I dropped out. I think probably if I had chosen another university, I would have finished school. You see? But then, if I'm to think about it, for me to be where I am is the decisions that I made today. So I'm grateful.
All right, that led us to my next question. I wanted to ask you about why you dropped out of school.
Financial problems at home.
It's financial problem. It's okay. But in your decision, vasvitambira sei vabereki not disappointed because vangoitoti
no, I think, you know what, I'm that kid that is trusted by their parents. You know, they look at me and say, you're now mature enough and we trust you every decision that you make. Because when I made this decision, I was saying, when things get better, I'm going back. But deep down myself, I was like, nah, I'm not going to go back. It's impossible.
All right. Recently, I was watching one of your interviews and you mentioned about potato maricho. When was that?
What?
When you was doing maricho for potato company or something like that?
Like when I was maricho.
Maricho.
Oh, I thought you said the rituals.
Right.
Maricho.
Maricho.
That was when I was in first and second year university. Semester break.
Sim break.
Sim break. Yeah, I would go there. One of my proper phones. I forgot to tell this. People don't know. When I started YouTube, some of the money that I used to buy the phone was given to me by Prophet Otamagaya. People don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I was a casual worker at Chinekes, you know? Because when I finished the Form 6, instead of going back to university, I spent a year working at Chinekes. And Prophet Otamagaya came there. You see? And it was 3 of us. And he gave us $100 and we did split the money. Like 3 of us. That money, I combined it with the money that I was getting from also after, because I used to keep the money. So that money, I bought a small phone, and then when I went to my Maricho, so I went to university with that small phone that I bought from the money that was given to me by Prophet Ramagaya. And then when I was in second semester, I went to my Maricho semester break, and then that money I did swap and talk. That's when I started doing proper content creation.
Do you remember your first phone?
Yes. My first phone? You mean like touch screen?
Yeah, maybe we can say touch.
I still remember using J5
or
Samsung. I love Samsung, but now I'm using iPhone.
Why?
As a content creator, you get to understand that I need proper, like, Samsung right now is good when it comes to pictures. iPhone is better when it comes to video. You see, like, your videos won't lose quality when you're using an iPhone.
Okay, as of me, I think Samsung is the best way.
That's what, for the past 3 years, get me right, for the past 3 years, Samsung S23, S24, S25, Samsung did well and was on top of iPhone. Even up to now, like, honestly, Samsung is doing well. But when you want quality, like proper quality videos, use iPhone.
All right, let's dive straight into your journey in content creation. You mentioned that you started your YouTube channel with the money was given by Prophet Magaya.
Yeah.
After that, what happened?
That's when I met Kundai Chitima. Not met him, but I started following him, and then I had to call him. And that man is crazy. The reason why I'm saying he's crazy, like, the knowledge that he has, even up to now, is the knowledge that someone who has 1 million subscribers has. And when I did get in touch with Kundai Chitima, he did spend like 25 to 30 minutes explaining content creation to me when I was in my, first year university. I used to work for Kundai Chitima.
Yes. Yes, what?
Like as an editor.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So after having this conversation with Kundai Chitima, that's when I started creating content. Like, I can make
so
money
which
from
means
this.
you started content before you go to university?
Yeah. I started content even before meeting Kundai, but I starting to be serious after I spoke with Kundai.
Oh.
So before Kundai, I was posting from here and there. And then
But how was it back then?
it was hard. YouTube is now easy. People don't know. I mean, when I see young people and looking at them speak, I say, wow, this kid has got like good communication skills. Why are they not taking advantage of that? Today, YouTube, you can post 10 videos and the next thing you're getting paid.
Excellent.
Back then, when I started YouTube, you could post 100 videos and still getting like 6 views 10 views from a video.
But
Right now, it's impossible for you to post like 100 videos and not getting paid.
But I think, how was the algorithm back then? Because I think now because also now there are a lot of people, and back then a youngest no nyanyo wantirwa. So I think
No, because no, but it was hard. Right now, I'm telling you, I'm teaching people content creation, and I'm saying like, I'm seeing how easy it is for them. And when they get like 12 views on their first video, they'll be like, they'll be disappointed. We used to post a video back then, and in 12 hours, it is 1 view. That 1 view is you.
But is there a moment that you feel like, no, let's do away with this shit of content creation?
Like I told you, like, remember when we started this conversation, I'm that person when I'm pursuing something, I don't take no for an answer. I'm just gonna keep on. The only thing that I gave up was football. Other things, as long as there is no like age limitation, like when you get to 25, the opportunities are getting lesser. As long as it's not like that, I'm gonna go all in, and that's what I did when it comes to YouTube.
All right, I want to understand before we continue with this conversation of content creation.
Yeah.
I want to take you back. How do you learn, or do you continue to learn even outside the traditional way of education? And how?
You find the right people, especially for me, I use YouTube. And people say one should read a lot. I don't read a lot. I don't even read, but I'm trying to. But I feel like for one to be determined, it's not always about reading books. You can find like proper people to follow and even ask them for advice. That's what I did. When I met Kundai, I knew that I was not going to be the same because I was going to pay attention to everything he was going to say. And I did. I'm telling you, I took advantage. Kundai's team back then was working with people like Passion Java and Zigo. On Passion Java in South Africa, you could see Kundai there. So these guys, they were like on top of social media. These days, I always laugh at people when people say, Kundai apera and Dana Zigo, GGGG.
Yeah, as of me, I met Kundai also.
Yeah.
He's very brilliant.
That guy is dangerous, not only on content creation, even when it comes to business. People don't know. Me, I know Kundai is like less than 50,000 subscribers. And me, I'm on 130. When I'm having a conversation with Kundai, I shut my mouth like this. I listen. Because that guy is dangerous. He's a teacher. You see? So, problem that we have, people, is that especially when we get to a level that we are now above someone, we tend not to listen to them. That's a very dangerous game. That is why the Bible, you should be humble. Even they say rich people should be humble. Poor people should be humble too. That's an advice that should be given to even poor people. Because poor people, their pride is dangerous. It limits them from learning. But rich people, they might have pride from here and there, but they are rich already. But you are poor. If you have pride,
you die poor.
You die poor. What do you call kuramwa nemchurungu? Kuramwa. I don't.
Ndakuramwa kunonzi.
I always get surprised when a poor person uramwa. Ndara, when you meet someone who has money, don't be a beggar. One. Number two.
But I think kuramwa is subjective because sometimes it feels giving up seems as if you kuramwa.
Giving up. It depends. You're right. It depends. But all I'm saying, when you meet someone who's rich, usaramwe. Rich people tend to know that they are not going to benefit anything from you. If I know that I'm not going to benefit anything from you, even the things that I say, but you show character. Saying, offer, but I'm willing to learn. That can take you far. Even maconverse vamwe vanhu vane pride dzekutoti kana parikutaurwa business pakutora maideas ebusiness haawanike ipapo anoda ari ndiye ari kupa maadvice apa uri poor. It's a dangerous game. There are poor people who have pride and it's very dangerous.
But what are the most challenges you have faced as a content creator?
People not understanding what you're trying to offer. The reason why I'm saying this, the kind of content that I create here in Zimbabwe, if I am in America, I'll probably have over 1 million subscribers. But Africans, we love entertainment too much. We only focus on entertainment. Even the awards are given to those who are in entertainment. But those who are into business, we barely know anyone who is into business in Zimbabwe. We're not talking about millionaires. We're talking about those who have their own businesses. Let me tell you something. I live in Cranbourne. I use Chiremba Road. There is someone who is doing roasted maize and is making like $50 per day. So, let's look at a bigger picture. When you don't understand, you just look at them and say, you look down upon them. But they're making money more than you. When we are looking at content creation here in Zimbabwe, you guys, you praise TikTokers, you praise those who are causing noise on social media.
Those who fight.
Yeah. But they are not the ones who are making money. People who are making money are on YouTube. People who are making $10,000 are on YouTube per month. Are on YouTube. And you barely know them. Because the kind of content that they are posting is not entertainment. It's educative content. How to farm. How to start real estate business. Those are the things. Those are the real deals. Those people, they understand that the CPM when it comes to talking about money on YouTube is high. Bro, skits. Name me a person who is making 30,000 doing skits here in Zimbabwe. No one. And yet we have big content creators here in Zimbabwe. And yet someone who is in Ghana who has 30,000 subscribers is making like 10 grand or 20 grand.
Alright, for someone who don't know about CPM, what is it?
So CPM and RPM, I think people should understand those things. They are, that is the amount of money that you're paid per 1,000 views. So for people, others are paid 60 cents. Others are paid 60 cents per 1,000. Others are paid $3.20 per 1,000. Others are paid even $10 per 1,000. It depends on the kind of niche that you focus on. If I interview you today, and if I interview someone who's from diaspora, interview that person here, and they talk about diaspora and even the title, right, diaspora, that video is going to make me more money than interviewing someone who's in Zimbabwe. Because in Zimbabwe, the CPM and RPM, everything is very. So, content creation pays like a lot, and people don't know here in Zimbabwe. You can look at the Nyati family. They came out and they never hide anything. They don't hide anything. And I wish that the kind of views that they are getting on Facebook are the kind of views that they were getting on YouTube. If those views that they're getting on Facebook are the views that they were getting on YouTube, they are set for life. Like set for life.
But so you are saying those who are in eligible countries who monetize Facebook, if Facebook doesn't pay as compared to YouTube.
Like, how can I say this? YouTube brings what is called like my money is coming. Like Facebook is so strict, bro. You're always trying to be careful too much. One thing, you make a silly mistake, you're gone. And I'm telling you, Facebook does pay more, not in Africa, but in the Western countries. Here in Africa, even in the whole world, YouTube, in Africa, YouTube pays like a lot more than Facebook, but people don't know. I'm telling you, like, people don't know how much YouTube pays in Africa. In fact, YouTube is hard. That is why you see those people who do well on Facebook, they tend not to come on YouTube. Have you ever noticed? Because YouTube is very hard. YouTube, you can't come out and dance like this and do amapiano like this and you expect to get 1 million views. Never. 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 So that is why I'm saying, like, if those views that they are getting on Facebook, if they were getting those views on YouTube, they are set for life. Because on YouTube, YouTube attracts certain people. And Facebook attracts certain people. And I don't want to offend a lot of people there. That is why I'm going to stop right there. Because YouTube, you can have 1,000 subscribers and make like $1,000 per month. And yet, on Facebook, you can have 10,000 followers and make nothing. That is what I'm saying. People should start focusing on YouTube in Zimbabwe. Especially right now. You see other content creators from Africa. They're coming to Zimbabwe and make content here. Why? Because Zimbabweans watch YouTube and they love YouTube. If I'm not mistaken, YouTube in Zimbabwe is the second most watched platform. Not Facebook. It's the second. Who are those people who are watching YouTube? People who don't talk too much. People who are looking for something. Not entertainment entirely, but they're looking to upgrade themselves. You barely watch a podcast on Facebook. You come on YouTube. What kind of content is being consumed on Facebook? You could see the difference. So all I'm saying is that YouTube AdSense can pay you like $500. But YouTube itself, like the connections that comes with YouTube, they're insane. And I'm speaking from experience. YouTube, although you are creating content for people, you are learning a valuable lesson. The people that you are creating content for are big people. People don't know that. Big people are watching your content. One or the other, they're going to reach out. When they reach out, sometimes you're set. You're good. Kundai Tima is not stupid to spend 4, 5, 6 years focusing on YouTube only and not Facebook. Some of these big brands, you could see even, I want to talk about people who are really making money on YouTube right now. Like the DNA show.
Exactly.
Drumas Media, they used to make a lot of money. Karanganda. I'm sure Karanganda made a lot of money last year. Yeah. Those people, they are not stupid to post on YouTube. YouTube is silent money. Have you ever noticed what is called silent money? Silent money is when people don't usually know more about you and you are making a lot of money on social media.
All right, I want to understand. You traveled a lot recently. You was in Malawi. Yes. How did you manage to finance your content creation?
YouTube. That's what I'm telling you.
So it's self-funding.
Bro, people don't know. People don't know that you can use your mouth. Don't just speak. You are a child of God. When you speak with authority. Even the Bible says, be slow to what? Be slow to speak. So you recognizing that I can make money using my mouth, focus on important things. Don't focus on things that you can't change. The biggest problem that we have in Zimbabwe is focusing on things that we cannot change. And you spend 30 years waiting for a savior to come and save you. That is why you see a lot of people who do a degree and then after finishing school, they just sit at home. Clever is he who finishes a degree and then hustle. Because after university, other people feel entitled.
I have a degree.
Eh. For example, I'm telling you, I was looking for an editor recently. I was willing to pay a lot of money for an editor. And people who are applying are the people who did journalism. And they barely know anything. They barely know anything. People should start asking questions. Why is it that people are no longer watching ZBC? It's because it's traditional what? Media. Who are the people who are being employed when it comes to traditional media? People who did what? Journalism, people who went to school. Who is working for Mr. Beast right now? Someone who never went to school, and they're being paid $10,000 maybe in 2 weeks.
But let me cut you. Let's talk about this. Recently on X, I saw one of X,
Elon Musk.
Recruiting people to come, regardless of qualification,
Yes.
whether you have it or not. Show us your product. Do you think it all industry must be like that?
Yes. Do you know ZBC has the potential to become one of the best, that even when I finish work, I should go back and say, I want to watch ZBC. Why are people not watching? It's not because people can't afford to pay subscription on DSTV. They do, but the content is... You ever seen, like, I'll give you an example. Like, you can watch something and then you don't like it, but you just say, this is good content. Like, this is good quality. Although what they're saying, you don't like it. You see? You might not like what they're showing. But when you're looking, even the sound, even the picture quality, you say, wow, this is amazing. Probably, you know what? ZBC have their reasons, to do whatever they're doing, the way they're doing it. You see? It's good, like they have a targeted audience that they're trying to target. But one thing that I know is that it's not the young people. Young people are not going to watch that kind of content because it's slow paced.
All right. What are your thoughts on the stability and security of a career in content creation? Because recently, takona Facebook yamboti log out test TikTok bayambobhana. Those who were making money on TikTok will be like, career appear.
Oh, so for the meantime, YouTube is not going anywhere, even Facebook. People should understand. Number one. Number two, when you are on social media, build a brand, don't build platforms. The reason why I'm saying that, most of my money does not come from monetization only. It comes from just being invited and say, make a video. Not them mentioning that I should post. Making a video for them because they've seen the kind of service, like the type of content that I create, it's good. You see? And they love it. They just want me to come and create a video for them and give it to them. That's it. Not posting. So if YouTube and Facebook is to vanish, I'm still in the game. And people forget that when you are doing these things, invest in other things also. There is farming. There is the real estate. Content creators are making money here in Zimbabwe, even in Africa. You can't tell me that these big content creators that you know here in Zimbabwe, they are making less than 3,000 per month. So if for the past 2 years you have been making $2,000, and then YouTube is to no longer exist, did you not invest? You should have. You should have.
But you mentioned something about targeted audience. As of you, how do you understand your target audience?
It's crazy because like I'm one person who evolved like a lot. For example, I was focusing on farming content. I'm shifting. I'm evolving. I'm going to be creating another type of content. So I just know that this kind of content, the reason why I'm saying this, like, you have to create a video that is entertaining and yet educative. A farming video is boring. You see? I, I want to give you a good example. Me as a YouTuber, given an opportunity to interview the president at his farm, I'm going to make sure that I break myself down to a position that I am a kid. Have you seen a toddler, how a toddler behaves in the presence of their parents? They just be doing everything. You see? They just be doing everything. That's how you should do. Not everything should be formal. Yes, the president is formal. You see? But you be casual to understand that even when the president is answering you in a formal way, it seems like it's a casual way. People watch this video not because it's a farming video. People watch because they're being entertained with your character between both of you.
Yes.
I loved a video that was broadcasted by ZBC recently. Was it during Christmas when they were interviewing the first family?
All right, exactly. Well, yeah, during the festive season.
I was like, if they could maintain that, that was good content, you know. You know, the first lady, she was just sitting there, talking. Wow. If she can share an advice, people would listen.
Exactly.
Because she's doing, imagine, like, that is so cool. That is so cool. You see? Me, I wish for the day to come as a content creator to make a video with the president. Even be there in the motorcade when they are going to the airport. I'll just be there sitting. So, you see?
Exactly.
You recognizing that this is high power. This is power. This is our father as a country. People who understand the power through you, through your platform. That is why you see even when someone interviews a billionaire or a millionaire, people say, wow. People don't care about your money. They want to know, like, your personality and that kind of stuff. Because if you were to see, I talk too much.
Yeah, go.
People should understand that content creation is the future. Even in politics, even in everything. And people should start utilizing it. But people are not utilizing it. Even to spread the information, like, people are not really using it the proper way. There's the proper way to do things. But they are not taking advantage of it.
What are those proper ways?
Learning how to edit a video the proper way, not the traditional way, number one. Good communication skills, like to do it in a good casual communication skills, not formal.
Exactly.
Casual. Me, if you are to sell me this water, if you sell it to me in a formal way, I won't buy it. Joke around a little bit. That's the reason I'm saying this. That is the generation that you're trying. This generation, they don't like formal. Tap in. Try to fit in, because if you don't, you suffer in the long run. This TikTok generation, this Facebook generation, this Amapiano generation, and you want to approach them in a formal way. Never. The reason why I'm saying people no longer watch ZBC, because it's too much formal. You see?
All right. Recently, I was watching a video of you and Kunde on his platform.
Yeah.
And you guys, you were talking about buying channels. Talk to me about that. Why you don't opt for buying a channel?
Because it's dangerous. You can buy a channel that has 1 million views, right? 1 million subscribers right now. You're not the one who did build that channel. So when you post a video, people will know. The people that subscribed will know, and they will not watch. Buying a channel is a waste of time. It's a waste of time. And people should not do it. It's dangerous. For me, I did it once, but I don't encourage people to do it.
All right, let's talk about these things: captions, thumbnails, and descriptions. Which one is the most important? Or how do they complement each other?
They complement each other. Like, do you know that for me, I would say the video itself, that the people that are going to watch, is 30% important. And then another 60% is the what? is the thumbnail. And then the title is like what? 10%. That's what I would say. It's now 100, huh? 60, 90, 100. Yeah. A thumbnail is very important. More than the video itself. People don't know. Because the first thing that people see before they click the video, what? Thumbnail. So thumbnail and title, those things, they are very, very important.
But as of you, how did you, what's your creative process like when it comes to creating a thumbnail?
I take a screenshot from the videos that I made, but I don't encourage that. Now I'm taking like an actual picture. I'm trying by all means to make like proper thumbnails. And I still use my phone to create videos. So people think that it's hard to create content. You can start with what you have.
What you hear?
Yeah, because even me, when I started, things were not fair. Now I can buy a phone that I want, but back then I could not. God is good.
All right. So I want to put you on the corner now.
Yeah.
If you are to give a caption or a title for this video, what would it be?
I would say the successful rise of the best YouTuber in Zimbabwe. In other people's eyes, I might not be the best, but they will click that video because you said the best. And that is important for us. As long as they click and then they watch and then they critique in the comment section below, that is going to help the video to do well. So you are provoking. People don't know. That is how you should create content. Create a video that people would say, wow, or they would say, they would say bad things about you. Those videos, they tend to do well. Let us see Mr. Beast. These videos, they do well because after people, when they watch, they say, wow, a lot of money. They'll come back for more. If you create boring videos, you spend 10 years creating videos and not even getting paid a penny. You need to sit down and say, if I am to interview Kelvin Birioti and put a title, or you can even put the satisfying downfall of the best YouTuber in Zimbabwe. And then your intro, you could pick those things where I was saying I was down. So that people won't complain too much in the comment section below. We want the video to do well. If you are doing ordinary things, that's the law of life. Do ordinary things and no one will talk about you. Extraordinary. People look at Patron Java. He understood the social media like the back of his hands. Back then, he used to come up with a phrase like "Twabam," and then used to provoke people. You used to provoke like willingly. But look at him now. He barely do those things and he had built an empire already.
All right. Basing on that video I've mentioned recently, you guys mentioned about green content. What is it?
Green content is content that in 10 years from now it still has value. Someone can watch and still learn, or can still be entertained. That is green content. You see this video? This is green content. If you blew up in the future, people are going to come to this video and watch all of it because they want to see how you were doing back then. Even me, let's say I become a millionaire in the future, people are going to come to this video and watch all of it because it's green content. Bubblegum content is when you create a video. Bubblegum content is news. When you create a video that people are beating each other up, it's news now. And everyone is paying attention now. But tomorrow it doesn't have value.
All right. Let's talk about your journey to 1K subscribers. How was it?
It was hectic. I've never been happy more than I was when I reached 1,000 subscribers. When I reached 100,000 subscribers, yes, I was happy, but not more than how I was happy when I reached 1K. Because I was waiting, probably like 1 hour 30, just to gain like 4 or 5 subscribers. And it happened, and I was so excited. And back then, I did not know that subscribers are not that really important. Views, they are the ones who are important.
All right, man, let me start by congratulating you for the Content Creator Award, man.
Thank you.
And how are you feeling about that?
I felt like I've graduated because I never graduated from university. When I received that award,
It was graduation.
yeah, it was graduate. Now I've graduated because the people that I was with, they graduated was last year, but one last year, but one. So, although you are no longer there, you feel the pain. Like I could have been there with my fellow students, my fellow friends. I feel the pain even up to now. Like when they were still at school, I would miss them. I would miss those days.
Because the university life is very.
Yeah, like when they graduated, I was like, hey, I felt the pain. But after receiving that award, boy, you have graduated, and let's keep on pushing. But I don't encourage people to drop out of university. I don't. Graduate and do other things. Use your degree as a contingency plan. If things go south, at least you can go and look for a job. What about me? I only have A level, O level. What kind of a job would I would get? That one that would pay me less than the kind of money that I'm getting now.
But on behalf of other content creators, what does that recognition mean to you? But you are representing others because it's a new industry which is emerging, and you are being recognized, being given an award.
It means a lot. It means a lot. The reason why I'm saying that is that the entertainment industry is the only recognized industry in Zimbabwe. When you create educative content, they don't look at you, no matter what. Imagine, like, we're about to have what? Nama? You never hear like a YouTuber there, even if you have like 200,000 subscribers. You never hear them say YouTuber of the year. Why? You asked why? Because even the audience themselves, they don't pay attention to content like mine. They don't want to see content on real estate. They want to see Madedido. You see? But I don't blame them. That's who we are. Sometimes we are stressed. When we touch our phone, we want to be entertained in order to. So I'm just saying how it is, and I'm not pointing fingers like, hey, you should give us awards. So this, and the funny thing, it's not those who are living here in Zimbabwe who recognized and they gave me that award. It was those who are in the diaspora who came back and say, because you have done this and that, we're going to recognize you. That's what happened. So it's a new era for content creators, especially for YouTubers, because YouTubers are never recognized. Those who post on TikTok, on Facebook, they're the ones who are recognized. A YouTuber, nah, no one pays attention.
It's unfair for YouTubers.
It's unfair, but it is what it is. And the funny thing is that things are starting to make sense for YouTubers, that we are now traveling around Africa. We are now going to be big. When we are big now, when others outside the country start speaking about us, that's when Zimbabweans say, hey, is he Zimbabwean? He is. Our very own.
Yeah, our very own man wave.
Yeah. That's what happens. That's life.
All right. On the ceremony you was with your wife, talk to me about that. How did you first? How did you meet her?
So my wife used to work for me. So she was working somewhere, and I said, leave that. Work for me. Because I did not like
the shoko mama shita.
Danda shita, but I did not waste time. I told her, come work for me. From working for me, one thing led to another because we were together like this. And the reason why I stood up with her, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. And she has been there. Me, I'm crazy. When I say I'm crazy, I change like that. Today I'm focusing on this, I focus on that. So finding a partner who understands what you're trying to achieve. Because content creation is unpredictable in Zimbabwe. Today I might focus on this. And tomorrow I might focus on that. And yet content creation is what is feeding me. So others would say, she might even encourage me not to shift, because if I shift, what if? We're trying to feed ourselves. But she has been there and say, no matter what, I'll support. So that giving me the freedom. In marriage, you rarely see one having like freedom to do crazy things. Not normal things. Normal things, yes, you can. You ask your partner and they say, oh no, yeah, yeah, yeah. For example, I can give you like in marriage, you can ask even your partner. You can't ask your partner to. I'm taking $100,000 from our bank and I'm just gonna buy a small camera like this.
For 500.
That's what I did. Like, you know what? I the money that I've invested in equipment is so much.
Oh.
Like a lot. If my wife did not understand, she would be angry at me. But she
Well,
understood.
I've noticed that she's very supportive, and
Very.
you did videos together.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
come on, did you pray for that, or it just happened?
I prayed for a wife, but never prayed for a wife that supports my content creation.
But when? Because most of this generation,
when I was in Form 5, like I was walking and I said, God, I want a beautiful wife.
Mabona and
You know, like I was just walking like, God, I want a beautiful wife. I want this and that. But people don't. Should I go offside a little bit?
go.
When it comes to marriage, people think that love is emotions. Love is not emotions. Love, when you get into marriage, emotions, they fade away just like. Love is commitment. Love is when your partner make these decisions. You support, you advise. The reason why we're seeing a lot of divorce, we're seeing a lot of breakups, is because people, when they did get into marriage, they did not understand the proper definition of love. They thought that, oh, it's going to be butterflies every day. I'm going to be partner. If you ever have that feeling, are you living alone? You listen.
Yeah,
Okay. If you ever have that feeling when you are still living with your parents, and then you say, if I was living alone, I would probably invite my girlfriend and have this whole space. Yes. When you're married, you have that space. And you'll be like, So, marriage is interesting. Marriage is amazing. Those who have experienced divorce are the ones who come out and say marriage is bad. Those who are living their best life in marriage, you never hear them come out on social media and say, we are living our best life. So at the end of the day, when people look at marriage, what do they see? They use an example that they have seen. Those who come out and say marriage is bad. I am telling you, there are people who are in love who have spent 20 years in love in marriage. But those who were always at each other's throat. Those who are always, when their partner is explaining something or talking to them, they are always listening to respond, not listening to understand, are those who come out and say marriage and relationships are bad.
I can't believe that we have 1 hour for this, man, because see, I'm really learning. All right, let's move on. What's your secret when it comes to marriage? Because these days,
God, I'm telling you, like, let me tell you something. The devil does not want to see a happy family. A man, given an opportunity that he is happy in his family, if a man is fully happy, he doesn't care about money. And if you want to, a man who is in marriage, who truly loves his family, wants to see his family happy. And once that happens, the devil doesn't want to see a man happy and proud of his family, and a family just having fun, being happy. The devil is always going to tokonya, and make sure that you guys are not happy. You're always at each other's throat. So the secret is God.
all right, time is going like crazy.
Okay.
Let's talk about the education system we have now. Where do you think it must be changed, and where do you think must be advanced?
It's more, our education system is more theoretical rather than practical. Like, that is why you see a lot of people, when they even go to attachment, they barely know anything, and yet they've spent like 2 years learning about that thing. I still don't understand, when we are at the university, why is it that even before going to attachment, why is it that we don't go to, let's say, a social worker like me, we don't visit hospitals, or we are not given an opportunity to even sit down with a patient or go to the field before even going to attachment. That is why you see, like, when I'm looking at this whole thing, even those who finish their degrees, they barely know nothing. They barely know nothing about what they've studied. I met a white guy, and he said, "Birioti, I would rather employ someone whom I'm taking in who doesn't know anything, and I teach them a skill for the next 6 months, than taking someone who is educated." Easy.
All right, let's move on. You did a video in Malawi. I was talking to you about that before.
Yeah,
They said,
yeah.
do you, where you were talking about those people who believe in our traditionalism,
Yeah, yeah.
and they mentioned something about colonialism. Do you think you are still suffering from colonialism?
Yes. Look at our education system. Look at our health care system. Look at how we do things. Do you know that even your seed, the seeds, maize seed, fertilizer, most of those things are not made here. They are made outside. Name me a continent that has rich soil for agriculture that is not Africa. Why is it that we are allowing people who barely do agriculture make agriculture equipment for us? Kenya right now, if I'm not mistaken, they are no longer allowing fertilizers and maize seed from those who don't use that maize seed and fertilizer in their country. I used to think that Africa eat healthy. We don't. When I traveled in Zambia, I met those who are doing organic, and I learned a lot. We are not eating healthy in Africa. Look at the junky food that we are consuming. And we are consuming it, and yet at the end of the day, our healthcare system is not that. 50 years ago, if you were to look at a bigger picture, those who were suffering from cancer then, and those who are suffering from cancer now, the number now is skyrocketed. Why? Because of the food that we are eating. I met a man in Zambia. He said, from these flowers, from these herbs, we can heal ourselves. He has healed people who just came and they say, my stomach hurts, ulcers, and even cancer. He spends a week with them. Drink this tea I made for you. They are good the next day. We have demonized the things that we are really good at. These medicines that we are so proud of, and when we consume them, we don't associate with evil spirits. What are they made of? These same plants that we avoid when we go to our grandmothers. The sad part is that our grandmothers who know how to do these things, we no longer consult them, and they're going to die with their knowledge. I went in Victoria Falls, and I met a man by the name PC. That man, people come to him. Those who are bitten by a snake, they go to him. And he doesn't flinch. What do you call it? Flinch. It is not, he just takes something and give them. They're healed. Why are we not invest? Let's take our doctors. Take them there. They learn and they improve. They are meant to improve what we already know. The problem that we have as Africa is that we don't know how to create our own things. We wait for validation from other people.
All right,
How did I
let's
do?
talk about this. I always listen to Maponga, and I recently met Mono Mkundo, and those people are really crazy about being an African.
Yes.
So, what's your take on the ideas of Maponga of abolishing all the things and the all the colonial thing, all the things which came with the colonialists? But Maponga is radical when it comes to religion, to be specific, economics and politics. But what do you think about it?
Maponga and the other guy,
It's Mono Mkundo.
they don't believe in God.
Mono believes in God, but he don't believe in religion.
Oh,
Eh.
that's smart, because God is not a religious God.
You see, when I did an interview with him, and he mentioned that the reason why he don't believe in religion is because it manipulates people.
Yeah,
And
That's
it's
what-
it's a money-making tool, though. So I want to know from you, what's your take on that?
Especially Maponga, his views on Africa, they make sense. Like they do. There are certain things that we should abolish, and there are certain things that we should keep on doing. For example, let me give you a good example. Marriage. Do you know, like, we adapted the whole white wedding thing from these guys.
Exactly.
So them, they only do one wedding.
Yeah.
Us, how many?
2.
And in others, some parts of Africa, in places like Uganda, they do 3. Yeah, introductions, yeah, where you're coming, you're being introduced to your in-laws. You bring groceries.
Whoa.
I met someone from Uganda and they was telling me this. You bring groceries. You see? Number 2, paying lobola and bringing your cows. Number 3, going to the white wedding. So here, they only do white wedding. And most of the time, you would see that even the parents of the wife, they can even suggest to pay for everything on the wedding day. And someone even told me that it was like that back then, that the parents of the wife are the ones who pay for the things on the wedding. That is why you see when a man is putting a ring on a wife, he says, "Will you marry me?" You see, you are not demanding, you are asking because someone has paid and contributed for. But just someone taught me, I don't know if it's true, but all I'm saying is that there are certain things that we adapted as Africans, and it's high time that we start doing our things. Because them, when they're looking at us, they don't say, "Wow, Africans are doing this and it's so cool." No, they don't.
All right, let's talk. Because most of the time I sit on the table with those same people with that kind of mentality, and
Yes.
I'll start questioning my beliefs. So I was raised in a Christian family,
Yeah.
and I believe in God.
Yeah.
Then I'll be like questioning other things. Also, this is what happened, and I'll be like, oh, there are certain verses which means in the Bible. Then I look over at all other things. But at you, have you ever thought about anything which is related to that?
Doubting God, to be exact, huh?
It's not doubting God, but doubting the person who came with the concept of accepting that God in Africa.
So people think that Christianity started somewhere. People brought Christianity here in Africa. But we knew God
Before even
before
those
someone.
guys.
Even in like the oldest Bible is from here, Africa. People don't even know.
But the white guys don't refuse such information.
So you see, if God allows, especially because the word of God, you see, the word of God, is so dear to us, humankind, because there is the word of God. There is God. So if we still have the Bible today and we are still using it, it means God has allowed it. I'm trying to go somewhere. Everything that happens under the sun, God is aware. You see, and we have been giving what is called free will. But when it comes to certain situations, God doesn't allow people to really like temper. That's what I think. That is why even the Bible says, "Touch not what." It's crazy, bro. Like, God is real, number one. And the Bible is the word of God. How many years have we lived with the Bible that no one is really like tempered with all the faces? You see, many years. There are certain things that there are certain things that we are living with now that have been tempered. You see, but the Bible, it's not tempered like to the core. No one, like God doesn't allow those things. Let me give you a good example, my friend. I want to show you how powerful God is. And yes, we've been given free will. When it comes to the Bible, that is the word of God. Yes, there are certain verses missing. What about those which are not missing? Are you reading them? So are you telling?
Right, let me cut you there.
Yeah.
I just want to question you
Yeah.
on this one.
Yeah.
If I bring you, let me give you an example
Yes.
within our proximity.
Yeah.
If your wife gives me a lunch box saying, go and give Kelvin, go and give my husband,
Yes.
then it is wrapped and then ndosvika nayo ndavhura wonoti
Yes.
uzodzambocha idzidzo waizia
Yeah.
and we tine tamboita conflict and you don't trust me because also maybe pane zvandaita haufungira kuti dzikokanisa poison
Yeah,
dzadai so
I might doubt, but you are talking about the Bible here.
and there are certain they are missing verses.
Yes, and the Bible was brought to us by them. You see,
Mm.
so it's a matter of making a choice. You see, am I going to continue doing this? Because at the end of the day, you're going to let simple things disturb your ability to enter heaven. Like, there are certain things. I'll give you a good example. How can I say this? God allows people to go through the same experience that you went through so that they can also learn. You see, there are no shortcuts to life. And how can I say this? I'm trying to explain these things, but they're too difficult because it seems like it's a controversial issue, but it's not. Like, if we still have the Bible like today, like for me, if I still have, let's say there are 3 verses missing, what about the rest? Are they true? And you tell me yes, I'm gonna read those. You see? For me, that's what I do. Because let's look at Jesus. For me, when I'm talking about these situations like this, I go back and look at how Jesus Christ was living, how he did his thing, how he was killed, and then right there, while he's still feeling pain, he said what?
Alright, but do you believe that because I was watching a video of I forgot the name, who was talking about the privilege we have as black people. We have melanin, which is very expensive. That's why we are dark.
Yeah,
and those people portrayed Jesus as a white man. And some argue that Jesus was a black man because he was stronger. What's your take on that?
Number one, I would say Jesus does not see color. Like, we're all the same. I'm telling
How can you say we are all the same, but there are people who are like black people,
Yes.
they are white people, right?
Yes.
As they say.
Yes.
And let me not mention colors in other people,
Yes.
but blacks and whites.
Yeah.
And yet our black people are stronger. And I've seen that and I've witnessed that we are stronger than those guys.
You are stronger and you have allowed an inferior man to colonize you? So God will be looking at you and say, I've given you everything you need. What are you doing? You see? So we start there. So when I say God does not see color and we're all the same in the eyes of God, when God died on the cross, he did not die for the Chinese or white or black people. He died for all of us. You see? So I don't understand how people consider this is a worthy conversation. Because at the end of the day, if you want to look at a bigger picture, we are all the same in the eyes of God. And why is it you is a stronger? Why is it you are stronger and then you allowed someone to colonize you? You are capable. I always give someone an example. Like, if God is to give you a testament of what you are capable of doing and what he has promised you in front of your eyes like this, you would cry. why did I not do this? Why? It's because you allowed other people to take control of your life. You listened to people and you lowered yourself, number one. So black people, you say that they are stronger than the white people. That's what you're saying, eh? But you allowed yourself to be colonized, to be controlled by someone whom you can overcome. So you are capable of doing more, but the reason why you're not doing more is because you are limiting yourself. You can't blame God for that. You have been given everything, but you are not utilizing it.
Thank you so much for that. So, as Africans, as black people, it's the right time to hustle back or to show that you are superior, though.
Yeah.
Though the way or the kind of democracy which works out there doesn't apply in Africa, as of what I think. But
It's really, for me, I would say, let me tell you something when it comes to conversations like this. Because some of the points that I have given here might be shallow. I want to tell you this. And other people are going to watch this video and say, this guy is not even making sense. And I barely want to engage in conversations where Jesus is involved, where the Bible is involved. Because there are certain people already we have established their ground and say the Bible is not real. And so to argue with those people is not a good ground to stand on. To argue with Maponga right now, when it comes to Bible, I won't win.
yeah,
I won't win. But for me, deep down, I have made a choice to say I believe in this God. And if I die believing in him, even if he doesn't exist, I'm good.
wow. All right, so that's it, man.
But he is there. God is real. God, for me, I don't think I'm going to have a conversation with someone who can really convince me and say God does not exist. Because he does. He does. God is not dead. That's I want to say something. In the Bible, was it not Elisha? Elisha, right? Elijah was taken to heaven, but Elisha died here. When someone was killed and he was thrown where Elijah's bones were, and do you know what happened to that person? That person rose from the dead by just touching the bones of Elisha. So these are not just mere stories, my brother. These are things that happened, and the Bible is not joking when it says, "Blessed are those who have not seen, and yet they believe." You lose nothing when you believe in Jesus Christ. You lose nothing.
All right, but what I can say to every one of you is we live in a world of duality. There is a physical world and there is a spiritual world.
Yeah.
I can't convince you that believe in Jesus if you don't believe in him. I can't convince you that believe in ATR if you can't believe
But they
in
should.
him.
They should
But
believe in Jesus Christ.
you must have your own choice and do your shit, but you are not responsible for anything. All right.
I want to be responsible for Jesus Christ because he's a good God. I mean, I don't. These things.
I said I'm not responsible if the conversation that I've started convinced someone who is in Christianity to go the other way around or something like that. Yeah, but that's it, man. All right, my brother. Before we end this, what are your parting remarks?
God is real, and we should believe in him. That's it.
Your advice to upcoming content creators:
put God first, and everything will go and be original. Your
message to people who give awards:
keep on doing what you're doing and doing an amazing job. Obviously, you know what? For me, the reason why I'm creating the kind of content that I'm creating is because I've recognized that there are certain people who watch it. So those who are giving awards, if they are not giving awards to certain people, they know that they are not really important. I can't blame them. We are not important to them. We are important to certain people, but we are not in their vision. Maybe in the future. That's how it is.
All right, right. Let me ask you, who are the content creators that you look up to?
Kundai Chitima. You mean in Zimbabwe or over the world?
All over the world.
Wodemaya, Tayo Aina, Kundai Chitima, Stephen Duke. I don't look up to one person.
Yeah.
I draw inspiration from different people. And this guy from South Africa, Tumisho Kwan, that guy is really good when it comes to content creation. His personality complements the kind of videos, the kind of editing, the kind of even storytelling. Amazing. People should learn from the best people. You can't be doing the same thing 4 years, and you can be doing podcasting like this. But if you spend 4 years doing the same setup like this, something is wrong with you.
Something is wrong indeed.
So evolve in the same niche that you're doing. You see?
Yeah, sure. All right, but as a tradition here, we can't let go Kelvin Birioti without asking him some 5 funny questions. So I want to ask you 5 funny questions as we end this thing. Man. All right, my first funny question is: if you had to rewrite your life story, which part would you rewrite?
Not even a single paper, not even a single place in my book that I would rewrite. I don't. Everything is perfect. The pain, the whole experience, I love it. That is what made me.
All right. What's the most rebellious thing you ever did as a teenager?
Not listening to the traditional way things are done. Like, I always wanted to think outside the box. You see, when you are not doing things that other people are doing, they look at you and say, you're doing it wrong. So me, I was like, nah. So people would look at you like, that's the crazy one. You see, if you have dreams, believe in them. Be rebellious when it comes to what is dear to you.
Be rebellious in a good way.
In a good way. So that is why I'm saying be rebellious when it comes to things that you think that they are dear to you. You see?
All right. My next question is: what is the weirdest thing you ever done to make money?
Interview a witch doctor. Yeah.
You did you interview a witch doctor?
Yeah, someone. Yeah. He said I'll give him money. I went there and I interviewed them. But I regret.
Why?
Because imagine the kind of information that they're spreading out there. God, Jesus Christ is the only true God. But when you're into social media, especially when you are into any profession, you're pushed to do certain things. Even you have your own beliefs. So, when you're a content creator, don't interview a witch doctor because you want money. I did that before, and it's not a good picture. It's not a good thing. It won't do you good.
All right. What's the best and the worst advice you ever received? That's the worst.
Yeah.
All right.
Dara, fira hapo mna. Light iri kuti zogadzirwa pambatrawa kangani. Munhu akatraya, baba akatraya. Akaramba achingotry achitoswa zvaita.
All right. What is the best advice you ever received?
Learn to say no. When things started to make sense in my content creation, I was saying yes to everything. They come with a little bit of money. Yes. Everyone is coming with certain advice. You are now doing this. I say no. I don't want this deal. And I'm walking away. It helps to build your confidence. If everyone likes you, you're doing something wrong. Not everyone should like you. Even our master, Lord Jesus Christ, they hated him for speaking the truth. Imagine the truth. What about you who are trying to open a business? People are going to hate you. So don't try to make everyone happy. Learn to say no. Learn to walk away.
If you had to make one universal law, which one would it be?
I would have said everyone to believe in Jesus Christ. You see? But I learned that even the master himself did not make that as a law for a reason, because he wanted to give everyone free will. He is a good God.
But as of you wouldn't
Yes.
give anyone a free will.
I would not. No, I would. Sorry. I would. I wanted to say, I wanted that. Like, I don't want to give. I want people to just have the same, you see? But I figured, no. The master himself did what the master himself did was perfect. So I'm telling you, there is no law that I would apply or even create.
And regardless of religion, any law that you think this
Believing in Jesus Christ is not religion. I'm just saying in general, like.
all right. Also, that's the law you will
That
make.
yes, the law that I would give is just enforcing the law that the master himself. You see?
All right. So my last and final question is:
Yeah.
if you are to change one thing in Africa, which one would it be?
Mentality, bro. You said it yourself. Africans are what? Are stronger. Bro, Africans are capable of doing more. But we are limiting ourselves. If I have to look at you, I see myself, because you're starting this, and I know that if you keep pushing, you are going in 4 years you're going to be somewhere else. You see? But along the way, if you allow yourself to be limited by simple things like advice from people, I still have a video of me, of people, my first video saying you are not going anywhere. Content creation is not your thing. It's there. I pinned that comment in that video. Look at me now. People should believe in themselves. People should believe that I can do this. I'm telling you, if I was giving an example of content creation, everyone that I teach YouTube, if you post 100 videos and they're not getting paid, I'll give you $100. Because it's impossible. You can't post 100 videos on YouTube, even if you're just sitting there and breathing and not getting people monetized. There is a YouTube channel on YouTube right now where someone just puts a countdown. Today, write 100, post tomorrow 900, and that channel is growing. You can do anything on this planet and be successful. People just don't know. They limit themselves. We are each other's limiter. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation. I limit you. I say wrong things about you. I tell you, Ndara, podcast yenye, hey, kuna naola. Ndaona kama unaenda unakuje. You see? I'm destroying you. Me, I told myself, if you tell me those things, I'm going to use that as fuel.
Exactly.
I'm telling you. We can't afford to limit ourselves. We can't. We can't. We have to. Impossible is the word found in the dictionary of fools. You see? Hey, no dream is too big, no dreamer is too small. Never look down upon anyone. Because everything big is successful.
Exactly.
This podcast, I always tell YouTubers, you're only one video away from success, from blowing up. Who knows? This video could blow you up, and tomorrow you might wake up having 1 million subscribers, even though you started content creation like a few months ago. Now, which means I'm now below you. But if I was that one person who would respect you, at least I know that this life, one ought to be humble. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much, my brother, for coming. All right. So if you get offended, that's not our intention, but it might be our intention as well. So I advise you to do the usual. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share. Talk to us. Tell us what you think about this and the ideas. We really appreciate these things, man. But as we agreed, we're gonna sing that song you mentioned as we close.
anzi ndoifamba senzira ine minzwa inobaya pfugama unamate. You see, that's powerful. That repeating that, you see, it teaches you that in every situation, pray. Prayer is the key. When you take a step, prayer is the key. Prayer is the key. Prayer is the key. Prayer is the key in every situation.
All right, thank you so much, and congratulations once again. I'm really happy for you, my brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
God
you so
is
much.
good.
Till next time.